All right, everyone. Hopefully, you guys are having a blessed day. We have the Galaxy A14 5G, the new device that just came out this week, versus, of course, the Galaxy A13 5G. This has been a long-awaited video, so we're going to get into the big differences between these devices, and we're pretty much going to show you which device is the better pick, depending on what device you have currently. So not wasting any time at all, we have the Galaxy A14 5G on the left, A13 5G on the right. Starting off, we have a difference in the size. So the A14 5G has a 6.6-inch display, and the A13 5G has a 6.5-inch display. So we have a 0.1-inch difference. Not too much of a difference, as you guys can see. The A14 5G isn't really that much bigger. So as far as like handling these devices, it's not going to be too much of a difference. Now getting into the resolution for the A14 5G, we have a resolution of 2400 by 1080p, a 20 by 9 aspect ratio, and a PPI of 399. So we actually have a much better PPI than the A13 5G. And of course, on the A14 5G, we have a full HD display compared to an HD display on the A13 5G. So both are going to be 20 by 9 aspect ratios. Both are going to be 90 Hertz, but the A14 5G is going to win in the display. Number one, because the display is, of course, full HD instead of HD, but it also has a much better PPI, 130 more pixels per inch on the A14 5G, and it's very noticeable. I don't know if you guys can notice it straight away, but this display is much better looking in real life than the A13 5G, and I've shown family members and stuff, and they're like, yeah, you can see the difference easily. So definitely a better display on the A14. Now, as far as the features on these displays, both have ambient light sensors and both have a proximity light sensor. And the next biggest difference is going to be, of course, the form factor of these devices. If you guys don't know already, the A13 5G has kind of like these rounded edges that peer off right there. With the A14 5G, we have a more modern look where it's just a super flat back. We also have this type of texture. Sounds like I'm a DJ right here, scratching those discs, but we have this nice little material on the back of it, much better looking and much more premium looking than the A13 5G. So I definitely like the form factor way better than the A13 5G. The other thing, the A14 5G is a thick phone, so don't be so surprised when you get the A14 5G because it is extremely thick. Now, as far as the bezels go, both are pretty much the same, as you guys can see, so we don't have a difference there. Selfie cameras, same thing right there, but bezels are going to be big on these phones nonetheless. But yeah, A14 5G, thicker, but the form factor, much sexier and much nicer build. As far as the batteries in these devices, both devices have a 5000 milliamp battery, both have fast charging. It's going to be wired at 15 watts, and both use USB Type-C. Now, both these devices are actually thin boxes. As you can see, they're not thick boxes, so they are only going to have the data cable, which is going to be USB Type-C to USB Type-C. If you guys have the A13 5G, it's going to be the same as the A14. We are going to have no wall charger in any of these boxes. Now, I actually did take some photos on the selfie cameras and the rear facing cameras, and we're going to be comparing those photos in just a second. Starting off with the A14 5G, we have a main camera. It's going to be 50 megapixels. It's going to be a triple camera setup. So same triple camera setup we have right here, 50 plus 2 megapixels. So we're going to have a PDAF camera, a macro camera, and a depth information camera. Same thing with the A13 5G. We are going to have a PDAF camera, macro, and depth information. Both, however, are going to be 50 plus 2 plus 2. So both of these devices are going to have a 50 megapixel main shooter. Both devices are also going to be recording. This is the top recording, 1080p 30 frames per second. So that's the highest you can go as far as recording goes. I actually did go ahead and take some photos, and I think there are some pretty big differences that we're going to go over right now. But before that, the selfie cameras. So the A13 5G from last year had a 5 megapixel camera, and the A14 5G of this year actually has a 13 megapixel camera. So a little bit of a difference, but I got to tell you guys, the biggest difference that I have found in this has to be the software for these cameras. So it looks like the software on the A14 5G is more updated. It's definitely a clearer photo, but if you guys see right here, it's not as yellowed. It's not yellowed at all. It's super clear, super white, but it's yellowed on the A13 5G. So not too much of a difference, not a crazy difference or anything, but I can see the software is going to be much better on this display for sure. As you guys see right there, that isn't fully processed, but on the A14 5G, we don't have really anything there. It's clear, it's nice, the colors are clearer on this device. Now getting into, of course, the front-facing camera right here. As you guys can see, the A13 5G has a ton of noise at the bottom of the picture. Going to the A14 5G, I'm wearing a black crew neck. We have no noise at all. So there's no noise. Right here, we see noise. Another thing I noticed is my skin tone is much more accurate on the A14 5G, and it's much clearer. But I believe the A14 5G looks much better, and this is our low light test. And now getting into the front-facing camera in good lighting, the biggest thing that I've noticed is the clarity. So the clarity is going to be much better. I can see my hair follicles and everything. When I get over here, it gets a little bit more blurred. Skin tones are a lot better. The blacks are deeper, and of course the noise at the bottom of the screen, you can still see that is non-existent on the A14 5G. Plus the clarity is better. This kind of does something like a beauty effect in certain places. I believe the A14 5G is the winner in this. Also, this doesn't have like a yellow tint to it. You guys can't really see it through my camera, but the A13 5G not only has that noise right there, but it holds this yellow tint that I didn't recognize until I held it next to another phone's camera. So that is the difference between these cameras. I believe the A14 5G is going to be the winner of the camera test. We are going to do a full camera comparison and everything, but I just wanted to do that for you guys real quick. We're going to do videos and stuff later like that, but A14 5G, as far as clarity, takes a much better photo. As far as the weight of the phone, the A14 5G is going to be a little bit heavier at 7.13 ounces or 202 grams compared to 195 grams. Also, both these devices are going to be made out of plastic, but as I said again, the build quality feels better on the A14, but these are both 5G ready. We also both have 3.5 millimeter headphone jacks, so I don't know why a lot of people were saying the A14 didn't have it. There, you guys can see it does have a headphone jack. There are some websites that say it doesn't, but it does, and that's going to be for the United States as well as overseas. They're going to have a headphone jack, so don't take that false information. But other than that, I think the biggest differences between these devices has to be software. As you guys saw, the software in the camera seems to be better inside of the A14 5G. Now, what kind of sucks is we both have the same chipsets. So we both have a Dimensity 700 in here, so there was no upgrade on the Dimensity 700 processor, but the software I feel like is a lot more quicker and snappier on the A14 5G compared to the A13 5G. So I've been having a better experience with this. It's felt more optimized. It could be because we have Android 13 Core UI 5 on here. That's probably the culprit. Of course, A13 5G, it seems like we're just going to go up to, I believe, Android 12. So that's probably where we're going to cap off with this phone. So we went from 11 to 12 on the A13 5G. And the A14 is obviously going to get more software updates as well. And we come out of the box with Android 13. So those are the biggest differences. The biggest differences are the software inside of the camera, the software inside of the phone, which is Android 13, just like I said, and the screen quality. I feel like everything said, I don't think you have to upgrade from the A13 5G to the A14. You can if you want to, but if you have the A12, I think the A14 is a really good upgrade for you guys. I believe you guys are going to be extremely content with this device, and I've been really liking it so far. So the A14 5G is a better device than the A13 5G. It's definitely a better phone. Let's just leave it at that. Also, the price tags on these devices, the A14 5G retails on Samsung's website right now only $199. So we release at $199, and the old A13 5G released at $249.99. And from some stores, even more, it was like $279 or something. So we get about a $50 difference on this device. So really nice, coming out at $200 right here. This is the winner of the video. If you guys are going to get one of these devices, get the A14 5G, get it unlocked, $199. It is a great budget phone, and of course we're going to do some more videos on this. But if you guys have any other questions, let me know in the comment section down below. I still like the A13 5G. I still think it's a good phone. But if you guys have any questions, let me know in the comment section down below, and let me know what you guys think about these devices. Let me know which one you would pick up. But again, this has been Selfie from TechRight. Hopefully you guys have a great day. Peace out, Tech Gang.